Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. I think that's very fitting. It's amazing the little interesting things that pop into my head right as I go live. After taking the entire morning, being a professional, waking up at 3:40, grabbing my ice water, putting the headphones on, going downstairs, grabbing my morning 5 planner, going to the top, reading the quote, better days tend to show up right after you stop doubting that they will. Actual quote submitted by Reagan Wilhoit. Read the quote, contemplate on the quote, write my gratitudes, write my goals, pull out my remarkable tablet, write today's episode of the show, make my way back upstairs, jump in the truck, drive to the studio, get to the studio, build a show, full production, and then we go live, and right before we push the button to go live, like clockwork, song pops into my head. Next thing you know, I'm like, do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. And I can't sing, but I do it anyway, right here on this show, just for you, because it's me and it's you, and we're just little crazies, and it's intimate, and it's real, and it's raw. Speaking of intimate, real, and raw, I'm going to share some things with you today that by the end of this episode, you may block me. You may decide that I'm a really a crazy lunatic, and you might decide that you never want to watch this show again. I don't know. Or maybe you and I go on a really fun journey today, and it takes us out into our day and into our weekend, and we go out and make an impact. I don't know which way it's going to go, but we're going to have some fun with it. Let's dive in. Good morning, and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m., and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That's right, good old Lexington, Kentucky, where my family and I are on the cusp. We are on the cusp of this year's big family vacation. And here's what's super cool. Not only are we all excited about our big family vacation, but we got a brand new vehicle to take on our vacation tomorrow. That's right. We've got about a 10-hour drive to get to our to the port, where we will then jump on a ferry and make our way over to an island. But we got our brand new Mercedes Sprinter van, just got delivered yesterday. Shout out to Mercedes of Louisville and my guy Renee. Delivered it right to our driveway, did the entire deal without ever stepping foot in the dealership. But this is our brand new Mercedes Sprinter van. For those of you that are watching the video, you can see it there. For those of you that are listening, it is black in color. It is beautiful. It is all-wheel drive, and therefore it is lifted. So it is a beast. It is a monster of a vehicle, which it looks similar to the one we just had. Now, we had a 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter van. We've had it for the last 4 years. It was not all-wheel drive. It did get stuck multiple times over the 4 years. And so now we got the all-wheel drive. It's big. It's massive. And here's what's crazy, all right? Life is insane. So 4 years ago when we decided, yes, it is absolutely great for a 10-hour drive to Bald Head, Liza. And here's what's crazy. We have been driving a 12-passenger. My wife has been driving a 12-passenger Sprinter van for the last 4 years. I bought her that Sprinter van on the back of. Before that, we had a different van. So I bought her a Mercedes Sprinter van, and here's what's crazy: that last Mercedes Sprinter van that we bought, we used Chris Martinez and bought it from a different state. And then the last Mercedes Sprinter van that we bought, it got delivered right before we went to Bald Head Island for a family vacation 4 years ago. Like, how crazy is that? We haven't been to Bald Head since then. This is our second time going to Bald Head. We just happened to decide that's where we want to go again this year. So 4 years later, we're going to Bald Head Island. The family's super excited about it. And we get a brand new van delivered to our driveway right before we leave for Bald Head Island. It's so crazy how that has happened again 4 years later. Like, what are the odds that we would be getting a new van, that it would get delivered, and it would all happen right before Bald Head? It's pretty amazing. But anyways, so there's my 10, me, my wife, 8 kids. Then there's 4 friends. Some of my kids are bringing some of their friends. So we've got 4 friends, and then we've got grandma coming with us as well. So there's 15 of us. Yes, you heard me right, 15. There is a 12-passenger van, and we still have to bring a second vehicle because we don't have enough seats in the 12-passenger van. Should have got a 15-passenger Sprinter maybe, but the 15 of us are all going to Bald Head Island. And my wife has been prepping for this all week. She has food ready. She has all the clothes. Think about all the different clothes and all the different outfits for all the different kids and all the different people. She's got matching t-shirts for us while we're traveling for today and tomorrow to make sure nobody gets lost. She's been loading just totes full of snacks and foods, and she's been cooking. She's made like 10 pounds of pasta sauce and so on and so forth. So my wife has been prepping. She is a beast. She has been putting it all together. She's got games. They got all kinds of games because if you look at the forecast, there's some days with some rain. So she's got the playing cards and the dominoes and the board games and all the different things. My mom has been helping. She's got a ton of games. So 15 people, Bald Head Island. We're getting ready to go. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And I did contribute. For those of you that are like, did you make your wife just do all that stuff? Yes. I didn't make her, but she just did it all. But I did contribute. And the way that I contributed is I bought some walkie-talkies. I bought walkie-talkies so that while we're driving in the 2 different vehicles, we can be like, breaker 19, thinking we're going to stop for a potty break. How you feeling back there, right? So I did get the walkie-talkies. I think I should get a little bit of a celebration for that. I got the walkie-talkies, and I did get I got a floating portable speaker, waterproof portable speaker that when we're like in the ocean or whatever, when we're on the beach, it's like, all right. So yes, she prepped all the clothes. Yes, she prepped all the food. Yes, she did all the packing. Yes, my mom helped with all the games. They've got everything set up, but don't say I didn't contribute, because I did. Got it. Now, we are going to be heading out to Bald Head Island. You, on the other hand, might be hanging out here with my friend Heather Parody. That's right. My dear friend Heather is going to do a Rise and Grind takeover. She's going to take over the show next week. I don't know if she's doing interviews. I don't know if she's going solo. I don't know exactly what she's got going on, but I do know that it'll be incredible. So make sure you tune in all next week. I'll be on vacation. You ain't going to see me, but you're going to see my friend Heather. She will be here. Now, we are finishing up a series today called Idiots, and I know that's not a very popular word anymore these days, but that's the name of the series this week. It's called Idiots, and we've been discussing everything from space conspiracies to history's selection of what stories they decide they want to tell us and don't tell us, to Mandela effects. I don't know if any of you looked and researched Mandela effects after yesterday's episode. The Monopoly man never had a monocle, all right? The Monopoly man never had a monocle. Fruit of the Loom never had a cornucopia. Never had a cornucopia. Chick-fil-A has always been spelled C-H-I-C-K, filet, not C-H-I-C, no matter what you might think. All right, Curious George, the monkey, never had a tail. I don't know why a monkey wouldn't have a tail, but Curious George never had a tail. Kit Kat never had the dash between Kit and Cat. You might remember it, but it never happened. Berenstain Bears never existed. It's always been the Berenstain Bears. Jiffy Peanut Butter never existed. It's always been Jif. Febreze with 2 E's never existed. It's Febreze with 1 E. And Oscar Mayer is not M-E-Y-E-R. It's Oscar Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R. And then to top it all off, Pikachu does not have a black mark on his tail. So that's some of the Mandela effects that are out there. There's a bunch of other ones. Drop it in the comments if you remember things a little bit differently. So we talked about Mandela effects a little bit and how the brain ultimately sees what it wants to see, right? And the brain is literally just a series of electrical inputs that determine your perspective of reality. And we talked this week about how unreliable that can be because the brain just kind of likes to fill in the gaps and kind of constructs and actually like kind of makes stuff up a little bit to where no two people can see the same thing the exact same way. So that, in a sense, is why I called the series Idiot. Because technically, all the things that we think we know, we really don't know. So today we're going to wrap that up. But before we do, you know what we got to do on this show? Let's do some dancing. Come on.
Ready, steady, go.
Yeah, let's go. Come on. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching on replay, I need you to say what's up, all right? Drop it in the comments, say what's up. Mike Larkin, what's up? Different kind of dancing this morning. Let's get hype. Mike Rendine is in the building. Thank you for being here, Mike Rendine. Julio Soto, what's up, Julio Soto? Great to see you. Patricia Frudenberg is in the building. Paul Brindley in the building. Greg Becker, what's up, Greg Becker? Thank you for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. Tony Thorstad in the building. Luis Grafton-Noni's in the building. Gene Hughes is in the building. Michael Barrick is in the building. Jeremy Nolling is in the building. Spencer Nicholson is in the building. We've got Samantha Starr Baker is up in here today. Thank you for being with me. I greatly appreciate it. If this music doesn't get you pumped up, jacked up, and hyped up, then you do not have a pulse, my friend. Let's go. Malika Starr is in the building. Thank you for being here, Malika. Young and Johnson, congratulations on all your recent success in coaching. I follow you on social media, and I love seeing all the things that you do with the young people. Kurt McFarland in the building. Robin Price is in the building. Sol Salcido's in the building. Let's go. Woo! Dude, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Judith Coletti, thanks for being here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, real quick, before we finish up this week's series, just a reminder, we have a live in-person event for salespeople September 8th and 9th. That's September 8th and 9th right here in Lexington, Kentucky. All you got to do is go to 800%. That's all spelled out, 800%.life 800%life/events, 800%.life/events. Send your salespeople down here to Lexington, Kentucky. I'll get them hyped up. I'll get them pumped up. They'll be motivated, educated, and inspired when they get back to your organization. If you are in sales yourself, you know where you should be. September 8th and 9th, right here, Lexington, Kentucky. I hope to see you there. Let's wrap up this series called Idiots.
We don't know.
Oh, I meant to tell you one other thing too. By the way, the Morning 5 app, if you haven't downloaded the Morning 5 app, what's up, Almir? Download the Morning 5 app. This is where you're going to track your 5 things, right? No snooze button first thing in the morning. No phone, never hit the snooze button. No phone first thing in the morning. Write down your gratitude and goals. Take care of yourself physically. Send out an encouraging message. When you do these 5 things in the Morning 5 app, you get points for it. And then you can take these points and you can now take your points and you can get free, amazing gear. So I wanted to show you, check this out right here. This is what I traded my points for recently. And this thing unzips. There we go. Oh, there we go. This thing unzips, and look at this. Boom. That's what I'm talking about, dude. This freaking duffel bag, this is what I'm using for my trip. Right here. This is what I'm using for my trip today. My wife said it's better if we have duffel bags for the totes and so on and so forth. But look at that. Dude, unzips, and then you can just package it right back up. It's easy to package back up. It's great quality. Freaking awesome. I love this thing. So you can use points to get those, or you can just go to our store. We have a store now. Everything's up there. Rise and Grind gear, 800% gear, things like that, bags and backpacks and so on and so forth. So just go to 800%.life. Go to 800%.life, and then you can make your way to the store or download the Morning 5 app and get yourself some points, and then you can just trade your points for free stuff, which nobody else does that, by the way. Nobody else on planet Earth just gives you free stuff for doing your morning routine and taking care of yourself. Like nobody else does that. But I'll do it for you because I stinking love you. I do. Okay, now this is the part of the show where you might say, I can't ever listen to Glenn again and we cannot be friends anymore, because I'm going to share with you some truths, all right? I question a lot of things. I like to ask questions. I'm not a big fan of certainty. I feel like certainty can make you, I don't know, the best way to look foolish is to be certain. I think that's the way I would describe it. The best way to look foolish would be to be certain. So listen, I question a lot of things, and I'm going to share some of those things that I question for you right now. And like I said, you might be a little bit crazy. You might be on the other side of the fence. You might get offended by what I have to say. But one thing you'll always get with Glenn is you'll my name is Glenn, and I'm your friend, and I'll always be authentic and raw and real with you. So I question the Big Bang Theory. I question it. I don't buy into it. I think this whole we've been around for billions of years thing is nonsense. Like, I just feel like if we've been around for, I don't know. I question it. It doesn't make sense. For everything to come from nothing doesn't make sense in my mind. I understand they've got math and data or whatever, but I also believe that you find whatever it is that you're looking for and ways to support that. And so I don't buy the Big Bang Theory. I believe that the creation theory is way more plausible. I think it's way more plausible. And I know some people are like, that's nuts, bro. Like, God breathed the earth and created everything in 7 days. Like, to me, that makes way more sense when I actually look at how I experience this thing called life. than this billion years away, everything came from nothing. All of a sudden there was an explosion, and that explosion over millions of years just happened to put everything together in the exact perfect way to where I have an eyeball that can see and a consciousness that can process. Like, to me, I just don't get it. So I question the Big Bang Theory and its validity. I also question, actually, I don't even want to say question. I do not believe that we went to the moon, at least not in the way that this video shows.
2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 miles per hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Big shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drift into the right a little. 20, down a half. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The limb footpads are only impressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind. Tony, this is so great you can't believe it. I believe it, Charlie. It's raining, Johnny. Look at it go, would you, Charlie? You got all your steering, it's great. Oh, this is going to be
Why are there no stars, bro? Why are there no stars in this video? It's crazy to me.
Hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity, hippity hopping over hill and dale. Da 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 da. Hippity hopping along. 1 ignition. Run away, Houston.
Now that right there of the cameraman following the ship as it's leaving, like they just left the cameraman on the moon. Like, I don't get it, dude. And then that thing just kind of like popping off like that and just leaving the atmosphere doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, I just don't believe that we did it. I question it, I guess would be, you know, if you want to say, I just don't buy it. I don't believe it. At least not in that video. Like, maybe we went to the moon, you know, but not in that video, bro. And they called, I don't know if you know this or not, but they called from the moon. They called the president on a landline telephone. Think about that. Think about that. They called President Nixon on a landline telephone and videoed the conversation with no delay. Now, the moon is supposedly 293,000 miles away. No satellite towers, no nothing. And yet they had a landline conversation. So, anyway, not going to go too far in it. I'm just sharing with you. I don't believe we went there, at least not in that video. I'm also not sure. And, again, I told you today, some of you are going to say, Glenn's office rocker, you're going to go your way. That's cool. I'm not sure that the Earth is a spinning globe, this big blue marble, as they say. And there's multiple reasons why I'm not sure that that's that. I don't know what it is, but I just don't think it's that. I think it's probably more like an enclosed dome, kind of like a snow globe. You know, it's like half a ball versus a full ball but I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But I definitely question the narrative because it's interesting to me that we only have one picture of Earth. We have thousands of satellites in space, but yet there's only one picture of Earth, and it says on their NASA site that it's photoshopped. So anyways, I question that. I do believe, without a doubt, in my mind, God is real. I believe that God is real, and I believe that Jesus is God. And also, my preferred religion is Christianity. That's my preferred religion. But I do believe, I believe that all religions, including Christianity, are all man-made constructs. Like, they're man-made constructs. I don't think that Jesus, God, would have would create any type of thing that would be divisive like that. Like, I feel like it's a man-made construct. Even my personal religion, the thing that connects me deepest with God, is my faith and my Christian church that I go to, so on and so forth. But I just think the religions themselves are a man-made construct. I do. I feel like us trying to put God in a box is like, God is unboxable. That's just my belief. God is unboxable. I do question the history books, and I question the idea that America is always the hero. I definitely question that all the time. I question whether or not cigarettes actually cause cancer. I know people who smoke their whole life don't get cancer. I know people who have never smoked a cigarette in their life and get cancer. I know countries that I've been to where everybody smokes and they have longer lifespans than we do. So I don't know. I question whether or not cigarettes cause cancer. I don't smoke them, but I just question it. I also question whether or not this organic food stuff is actually better for you or not. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's a lot more expensive. I think overall, I would say that I just question that there's any kind of nutritional or health related science that is one size fits all. I think that's it. I don't think there's a one size fits all. I think everybody's genetic makeup is a little bit different. Everybody's environment's a little bit different, and what's good for one person could be poison for another, and what's poison for one person could be good for another. Like, I'm not saying I'm right, but that's definitely like the way that I lean, for sure. I question JFK.
To achieving the goal before this decade
I question JFK and the assassination. I question MLK and that assassination. I question Charlie K and that assassination. And I believe without a shadow of doubt that the government lies, bro. I believe that the government lies all the time. Like, they're always, in my brain, dude, they're always the number one suspect. Always. Like, something happened, boom, government. They're always suspect number one. You know how sometimes, like, you see, like, you know, blonde white lady gets murdered and you're like, it was definitely the husband, right? Like, you're like, it's like, you just immediately go there, like, it was the husband, right? Woman's missing, oh, it was the husband, right? You just go there. That's where I go with all the things. Like, with government, I'm just like, you found $5, found a tick on you recently. Government, dude, government's been dropping ticks all over the place this year. And for real, I don't know why I'm like that, but I am, dude. They're always suspect number one. 9/11, right? Inside job. COVID, inside job. War in Iran, nonsense. Like, it's all of them. It's never what they tell us it is. I just don't buy it. So now what? There's a few things that maybe you knew about Glenn or maybe you didn't. So now what? What are you going to do with all that? You're going to put me in some kind of box? You're going to blast me on social? You're going to unfriend me? You're going to block me? That guy's crazy. I can't watch that show anymore. I can't even believe he said that. I cannot believe he said that he thinks Christianity is a man-made construct. This dude's crazy. Oh my gosh, he thinks the earth is not a globe. Like, he is absolutely a lunatic. So what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it, bro? Are you gonna debate it? You want to debate it with me? Do you want to argue about it? Do you want to argue with me about it? We could argue about it. We could take this information now and we could jump into different camps, you and I. I could be in camp whatever, and you could be in camp whatever, and we could just be in different camps, and we could be completely divided and never interact and never have conversations and never talk again. We can totally do that if that's what you want to do, bro. Let's freaking go. Or maybe, just maybe, we could think back through this whole week and we could remember that our brains are a bunch of series of electrons and whatnot that are firing based on different experiences and perspectives, and that my brain is putting things together and my brain is finding evidence to support whatever it thinks it is that it's seeing. And maybe we could just accept that that's how human beings are, and that the mind isn't a reliable thing, and that perspective is different for everyone. But maybe that should be the basis of us having meaningful conversations as we try to understand each other's perspectives better, versus allowing it to divide us into two camps, maybe, or three camps, or 3,000 camps, or whatever. Maybe we could use this wisdom and this knowledge and this difference in opinion, maybe we could use it to create meaningful conversations. You ever think, like, maybe we could do that? And maybe we could give each other permission to ask questions about everything versus just constantly trying to give or find answers. Like Julio Soto's like, do your research and find out. Bro, I'm with you. Research as much as humanly possible, but I really don't think there's any way to actually find out. I think that we always need to be open versus certain, because the best way to look foolish is to be certain. So yeah, dig, research. In today's day and age, my guess is as you do the research, it's going to confirm whatever it is you believed going in. And that's okay. Just don't allow it to separate us. Matthew McConaughey wrote a book called Green Lights. It's one of my faves, and in the book, he tells a story of two chiefs that are sitting at a table and they're debating whether or not a woman who sells her body to provide for a living should be able to do that, whether or not she should do that. She has children and she's selling her body to make money for her children. And in the story, the two chiefs are going back and forth, and Matthew McConaughey jumps in and he says, I'm with him. I think he's right, and she shouldn't do that. And both the chiefs look at him in astonishment, and they say something powerful. They say, hey, it's not about right or wrong. It's, do you understand? See, them debating their perspectives and opinions was the basis of a meaningful conversation so that they could learn to understand one another. You see, friends, you and I and many people in this world, we're debating because we want to be right versus debating to just simply seek to understand. See, I share these beliefs that I have, or opinions or perspectives, so on and so forth, not because I think I'm right and you're wrong, or I want you to be wrong and me to be right. I share them because I want you and I to be able to connect and have meaningful, thought-provoking conversations as we seek to understand each other better. news, the media, the politics, they use all of these differences and perspectives to divide us. But I believe that the most impactful way to live is to bring people together, not to divide them. To bring people together, equip them with the tools they need to succeed, and to inspire them to be great. That's my life's mission. So listen, if at the end of today's show, you're like, never going to follow Glenn again, never going to jump on his show again, can't listen to him, he's a crazy person, I just want you to know that I understand how you could see things that way. And I understand if that's the choice that you make. And even with that, I absolutely stinking love you. I do. And I mean that. If nobody's told you yet, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So I hope you've had fun on this journey with me this week. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll wrap up the week before I go out on vacation. But until then, have an incredible day, like impactful, over the top. Ask some questions. Have conversations with people that don't look like you, don't walk like you, don't talk like you, don't believe what you believe. And something tells me you will find magic in that. It's not right or wrong. It's, do you seek to understand? You see, me personally, I hope to never know. I hope to never know the answers to all of these questions, because to know is kind of like a magician. It takes away all the magic. Have you ever thought about that? The magician never gets to experience the wow that you and I experience once they know what's going on behind the curtain. To know takes away the magic. I don't want to know. I just want to seek to understand. Have a great day. Peace.
Two, one, zero. All engine running.